Good morning. It is Monday, October 27th. We're 90 days out from January 25th. Your DTD2 this week, you're calling your H's and your V's, you're texting your J's. And you can do that if you want to join us. We've got Fight Club every day, Monday through Friday. You can jump into KWFightClub.com. And in there, you can text, you can call, you can write golden letters, you can type golden letters. You can steal golden letters. I think we get concerned with, well, I don't quite know what I would say. Whether it's picking up the phone or sending a text or even putting together a golden letter or a MOFR, make offer for immediate response, like whatever you're putting together, there's a ton of content already out there. And you can always make it a little bit better because if you've been using any sort of an AI tool, you could take somebody's golden letter and you can go in, they're all over the place, go into command and go into all, and you can go into the marketplace in command where people have all of the different smart plans. If you go into command and go into your smart plans, you'll see a myriad of smart plans. There is not one 36 Connect, there are a million 36 Connects. And what people have done is they've taken this standard best practice and made it their unique best practice. By doing what I'm about to say, you're going to go take something and you're going to upload it and you could put it into ChatGPT. We'll pick on ChatGPT. Don't forget, you have Gemini Pro, should you choose to use it, whether it's ChatGPT or Gemini Pro, whichever one you're using. There's bunches of them. And if you've been spending enough time with your AI tool, you can just say, hey, can you make that a little more lighthearted? Can you make that this, that? Now, what we found is that usually the most concise, clear-cut letters are getting the most responses. So I don't know if I would get lost in the wormhole of I'm trying to make it X, Y, or Z, right? Because when we start to specialize in our heads, whether we want to believe this or not, you're trying to narrowcast at that point. You know, we want to send out a message that would appeal to the most people possible in a certain demographic. Because maybe you're looking for a property in a certain part of town where a lot of people move because they work for this company and they're coming up from New York. Because you've been studying the migration patterns, also in command. And when I keep saying also in command this week, there's a point. We'll get there in a second. I am not married to you being locked and loaded with command. I'm married to you being excited about opening some form of CRM, customer relationship management tool. And it's not so you're managing the people in there. It's so you're managing yourself, behaving appropriately with the people in there. When you find out, and maybe it happened to you over the summer, when you find out over the summer that one of the people that you know and love and trust sold their house and then bought a new house and you weren't involved, I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here. We don't get to be upset if we didn't invite ourselves to the conversation. We just ran the math last week in business planning clinic, and I had everybody take their phone out, which is not your CRM. Your phone is your talking machine. Your phone is your Candy Crush machine. Your phone is your Tinder machine, but it's where probably most of the names of the people that you know exist. And maybe that's your CRM. So follow-up, boss, brevity, command, wherever you have the most people, and you take whatever that totality is, that big fat number of all the people in your command, in your phone, in your database, and you multiply it by 0.06. The reason we do that is we know that 6% of the United States over the next 12 months will be part of or right next to a transaction. Can you hear them running towards me? This is when all the veterans run in and they're just like, Timmy, that's not right. Because I had X amount of people in my database in 2025. And if I take that number and I multiply it by 0.06 or 6%, I get this number. And I didn't have that many deals. I know. It's because we didn't invite ourselves to the conversation. No one's ever going to wake up. There's good people out there. Maybe somebody will. More often than not, the humans aren't waking up. You didn't do it today. If you did it today, I would love for you to text me right now. Very few humans wake up in the morning and think, like if you got a friend right now, for example, if you have a friend that owns a landscaping company, when your feet hit the floor this morning, were you thinking, God, she's probably done with leaf cleanup. Like fall cleanup is just about done, or she's in the midst of fall cleanup. What is she going to do all winter? I hope maybe she plows, maybe she doesn't plow. I hope they have enough driveways to plow to get them through the winter. Was that your seminal thought today? For most people, it isn't. And I'm not saying that to be judgy. I'm saying that to be realistic. How many of your friends, their feet hit the floor this morning? They're like, God, I hope Julie has enough listings to get through Q4. They don't even know what we do. If you're like, Tim, no, my friends know I do real estate. Awesome. Do they understand how you do real estate? What do I mean by that? Usually when I pose this question to one of our agents' people, that's exactly what they say. Well, how does she do real estate? Our friends, for the most part, don't know. Our friends, for the most part, are subject to the media they see. Our dear friends over at the Travel Network, right? Holy God Television, HGTV, where an entire generations have been watching people buy a house in 22 minutes minus commercials. And you wonder why the country, why the whole planet thinks that our industry is overpaid? We were one of the initial reality shows. And you watch it now, and they're like, so Caitlin's a school teacher, and Phil collects stamps. And their budget is $5.2 million. That pisses off the humans, but they're still watching. And then we walk in, in our suits and our skirts and our high heels and our pocket squares. And they think we just get invited to be on these shows because we're sitting around doing nothing. Our friends have no idea how we do what we do. Very few of them do. And we have to educate them. There was an M in there. It'll be on the quiz later. We have to. The people closest to you are about to be surrounded. And it's this week, right? And there was stuff over the weekend. We had our Halloween walkthrough here at the office on Friday. We're about to go into Halloween, Chicken Giving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year. This is going to be the most robust because there are more holiday parties than there are summer parties, right? Like, well, I see a lot of people over the summer too, Tim. I get that. And I'll die on this hill. You will see more humans in the next 90 days, right? Or less. Because right now, what do we say today? We're 90 days out from January 25th. Do you know our post-holiday party, our awards party was 3 days ago on the 90-day rule? Because it's going to be Thursday, January 22nd, by the way. Thursday, January 22nd. So if we're playing by the 90-day rule, we've already have had the awards party for this year. Because we wait until the third Thursday in January, so we have all the math so we can do all the numbers for 2025. That's where we're at. So if we want to play by let's shave off 20 days. Over the next 70 days, you're going to see a ton of people. They're going to ask you how the industry is, how's work, how's real estate, if they know. Because for a lot of us, we don't talk about it enough. Or you're dual career agent. And they're still focused on your other job. And we got to get away from that. Because for the most part, our other job, our friends can't directly move the financial needle for us. They can do it in this industry if they know how to, if they're taught how to. And are we doing that? You're going to see a ton of people this week, especially if you have short people. Our oldest, Aiden, is off at school. Cameron's home. He's 19. He's not going trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating for him, he and Janina will hit the candy aisle at Hannah Foods probably some point this week. And he'll pick out 19 things he shouldn't have. Not because I don't want him to have it. He's diabetic. We'll talk about that later. But he'll still get it. For those of us with short people, you're going to go trick-or-treating. You're going to be going to Halloween parties. Maybe you and the spouse or the partner are going to a Halloween party where you're going to get dressed up, and the question's going to be asked. How's work? And if we need to introduce them to the fact that we're in real estate, that's when we say to them, hey, I'm super glad you asked. Just got my license. I'm with Keller Williams. And to wrap up the year, I'm hoping to help 2 or 3 more families, however you word it. If you're a Wiley veteran, you've done this. If you're a Wiley veteran, you probably have your stock answer. And I shouldn't say stock answer. You have a great answer to that question because you know the drill. You know how fortunate we are that we work in an industry that people care enough to ask about. Pay attention at these parties. Jim, the guy that sells life insurance, nobody's asking Jim how business is. Nobody's interested about life insurance. I mean, no offense. Everyone's interested about real estate. Everyone in a quiet moment, if you ask them, would you like to own where you currently live if they're renting? Or if you currently own, what's your next move? Or if you currently own and your kids are in school and you're going to stay in that town because the school system is the one that you fought for, is there an investment property coming? Is there a second home up on the big puddle in Chickenboro? Then we get to Thanksgiving. And everyone's situation is going to be different. But I'm gonna pick on everyone's got that fat Uncle Tony, fill in the blank, right? You'll always hear me refer to him as fat Uncle Tony. Everybody is going to be at a big table with their nuclear family and their extended family, whether you want to be there or not. And real estate comes up. And what do you do in that moment? Do you stay quiet? Even if you just got started, do you stay quiet or do you fight for this industry that we claim to love? Because fat Uncle Tony is going to speak up. The numbers are terrible. If you buy a house right now, you're getting screwed. If you sell right now, because he watches cable news. Our dear friend Chuck Kramer over on CNBC with his sleeves rolled up to his armpits. And I'm not saying that the prognosticators on cable news don't have information. I don't know if it's great. I don't know if it's relevant. I know it's not local. Absent our information, absent our leadership, absent our local, timely information, that's what they're left to. If they're thirsty, they'll drink warm water that might not taste great. Whatever's available is going to be their source. We need to deliver crystal clear, ice cold, refreshing water, our data on a regular basis. And when you're sitting at that huge table at Chicken Giving, don't let fat Uncle Tony dominate the conversation. Don't let him tell your cousin Julie and her fiance that they shouldn't be buying right now. And I'm not saying that you should tell them that they should be buying right now. You should have an honest conversation with your cousin and her fiance to find out where they're at. And just be the source of truth. And bring them market data to help them make the decision. but let's not get bulldozed. And the other half of all of this is make sure that the people that you know and love and trust, they're going to be at tables without you. Your best friend, Katie. Your boy, Greg, is going to be at a dining room table at Chicken Giving and Christmas and Hanukkah without you, and real estate will come up. Who will they think of? Who will they fight for? Who will they say, you know what, you should talk to my friend? Will they? Or do they think you're too busy? Or do they think you don't need the business because, you know, realtors sell houses in 22 minutes minus commercials, according to HGTV. If you do nothing over the next 70 days between now and like January 5th, it's make sure that the people that you know and love and trust are armed with the information that when they hear someone say real estate in the wild, they tackle that person and they call you. You're their real estate person. Everybody has their person, right? Where do you go to get your steak tips? Where do you go to get birthday cakes for your family? Where do you get your hair did? Where do you get your nails done? Who's your chiropractor? Who's your general contractor? Who paints your house? Who does your landscaping? Who's your realtor? And if the people that you know and love and trust don't have your name at the top of their list, we have work to do. And every lead you get over the next 70 days between now and January 5th, who cares if they say spring? Who cares if they say 2028? You're going to be in business in 2028. Should you choose to? Should you behave that way? I don't know an agent at our company right now that doesn't want to know that they have business coming over the next 24 months, scattered out. If you wouldn't take 2028 business right now because it's not immediate enough for you, I'm going to ask you to think about the way we do things differently. I talk about Simon Sinek all of the times, as Kevin from The Office would say, every of the times. Simon Sinek, S-I-N-E-K, 3 phenomenal books. First one is Start With Why. His second book is Leaders Eat Last, and his most recent book, and it's a handful of years at this point, is called The Infinite Game. Are we doing things for the long play? Are we doing things to build businesses and legacies? Or are we out there scrambling to be transactional? And I'm not saying you might want to scramble today. I get that. You might want to scramble today to go find your next deal. I'm not saying don't do that. And when we run into an opportunity today that presents itself chronologically, that it's going to be months out, seasons out, years out, based on where the consumer, your friend, your future client feels they are, we should be okay with that. Gary said it years ago. We're never going to convince somebody to buy, sell, or invest, or join our company for that matter, until it's appropriate for them and their loved ones. Over the next 70 days, you and all the people close to you are going to be in a myriad of conversations. And when real estate comes up, you need to be the name on the top of their heart. So that may be your battle cry for the next 70 days. Make sure when you're talking, I don't know what to talk to my people about. And I'm not saying call with the express, the content shouldn't be immediately, hey man, it's Timmy. Over the next 70 days, you're going to see a ton of people. Make sure you give them my name if real estate comes up. That's not what I'm talking about. We know the Ford conversation. I know if I talk to my friend Julie and say, how's Doug? How are the girls? And then I ask, how's Biberty Mutual? I know she's going to reciprocate. She's got warm blood in her veins. She's a human. She's inquisitive. She cares about me. She's going to say, how's Janina? How are the boys? How's real estate? And that wasn't it for the longest time because I had to keep reminding people, this is what I do. And when real estate comes up, my reaction has changed because it used to be about me helping people. At this point, most of my people know that I'm out of production, which has oddly made me more powerful. Because they definitely like, yep, and I know his company serves 4 states. I know he has, I don't know, 500, 600 agents. And I've beaten into them with love that we know people all over the country and all over the marble. And that conversation can be too big for people sometimes. But I've had it happen a couple times. My daughter's going to study abroad, and she needs to find a rental. I don't know what I'm doing in France, but I know people who know what they're doing in France. That's a game changer for people when they know they're one phone call away from the pathway to their answers and their future. The challenge is, do they know that you're the call? Do they know that you're the person? And I guess the bigger question is, what's keeping us from doing that? When we got here, it was about controlling our calendars and our bank accounts for most of us. And I can tell you, as the coach at this company, I hear time and time and time again, when people land, when people get started, if this is their first stop or their 5th stop or their 2nd stop in real estate. Because I have the same conversation. I don't care if you're a 13-year veteran and you're joining our company. Get me from high school graduation to this conversation. That's me getting the book. That's me understanding who you are, how you're wired, what makes you tick. So I know in the moment how to speak to you to get to the heart of things. And whether it was you had a bad transaction when you bought your first house and you knew you could do better, or you just truly love the industry and you want to help as many people as you can. With that information, with whatever your seminal thought was to join real estate, are we living up to that? Are we doing our best every day? And it's not always going to be 100%. Maybe your best today is 64%. Let's not beat ourselves up because we're not delivering perfection every day. I don't know a single person who will do that today. Something will go wrong. Something will jam you up. Something will get in your head. All we need to do is make sure when our head hits the pillow tonight, we can tell ourselves with integrity, Michael Mayer, 7 levels of communication. Today there was someone in my city, and it was my job to find them. And I did. Because I talked to the people that I know and love and trust, and I asked them, who do they know that I should know? Who do they know that I can serve? Not to get one more deal, not to have one more transaction, not to work on my GCI or my volume, but to do what this industry needs more now than ever. To take care of the emotional intelligence of each other. People give up on companies and industries because of the way it makes them feel. I mean, if I quickly, unless you are in love with, and everybody probably has their brand, but if I say airlines, you probably just skated to a puck. You're just like, oh God, you know? And there's an airline out there for everybody. I make fun of Michaela Greenwood all the time. God bless her. and I can't remember for the life of me if it's she swears by one of the Express Airlines. I'm going to call them Express to be nice, because she goes to Florida all the time to see her friends. And yet when she gets on that plane, and this is of course back before Brindley, but when she gets on that plane, before she was a young mother, when she was, it's just her and Dan, and she was flying down to see her friend, I mean, she'd get on the plane and this Express Airline would hand her her bagged margarita. They won her over with service, with knowing who she is, knowing her name, knowing what she liked, and making their experience, no matter what level it was, the best it could be for her. The benefit for us is we're at the best airline. Yeah, I mean, if I have my druthers, it's Delta. So insert your airline here, but I would say we are the Delta. With everything that we have, everything that we offer, everything at our disposal to bring to our clientele, we create the best experience ever. Are we sharing that? Knowing that's who you are and what you represent, why would you not share that more? Why would you not make sure that everyone over the next 70 days knows that you offer the best, bar none? Who gets that version of you today? Don't forget, you're calling your H's and your V's and you're texting your J's. Fight Club, 9 o'clock. That's happening in just minutes away. That's at KWFightClub.com. At 11 o'clock all this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the Maggie McDowell is delivering Command Jumpstart. The link for that is in the morning news. Just go to the Zoom link. 11 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. The Midday Protocol with moi is happening at 1 o'clock today. Simply go to timsoffice.com. We talk about our lead indicators, your conversations, your appointments, your contracts written, and we're talking about the 12 tactics of shift. At 1:30, Ask the Brokers. That's at kellertv.com. Bring your questions from the weekend. Bring your questions in general and find out from the best. That's 1:30 today. 2:30 today, you're back at it with Tech Your Business to the Next Level. Maggie's back on. You can register for that call at 2:30 today. The link for that's in the morning news. And then at 3 o'clock, 25 and 26. 25 and 26 with the Tiffany Hampton. Registration link for that is in the morning news. If I can help with anything, please let me know. It's 603-834-2856. You can also book my face at meetwithcoach.com. Think about the business that your clients, past, present, and future, deserve. There's a reason they call you. There's a reason they're going to be thrilled you called them today. What do you want 26 to look like? How many lives do you want to change? This career of ours allows us to feel a certain way, and there's going to be ebbs and flows. Cody Gibson, 2 weeks ago in Quincy, said, the best thing that we can do in this age of technology is be more human to more humans more often. How will you connect with somebody today and put them on the pathway to home ownership, investment, or maybe even coming to play with us here to build a career in real estate doing just the same? Look forward to seeing you in and around the Market Center and the internet. Have a fantastic day.